All right, guys, Joe McDonough here for CageSidePress.com. I am joined by Devin Powell, a fan favorite of the New England area and more, who will be returning at Bellator 252. Devin, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm good, and I appreciate having you on. It's always fun to talk. Like I said, you're returning to Bellator 252. It's special to return to the Bellator cage.
Sorry, say that last thing again.
It's got to be pretty special to be rejoining the Bellator cage.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely exciting. I've been working real hard this last handful of months after knee surgery since the last fight. Yeah, excited to get back. Hopefully, prove my worth and get a contract, which I've been asking for. So, still haven't given it to me. So, hopefully, this one will do the trick.
Absolutely, and last time I spoke to you, you were talking about that multi-fight deal you wanted with Bellator. This, like you told me, is just a one-fight deal. Was that something that was there a second thought in maybe not taking this, or did you want to get back in the cage to prove you deserved that multi-fight deal once again?
Yeah, I mean, they're treating me way better this fight. I'm getting paid 4 times more. It's still not where I want to be at all. But it is what it is. So I'm getting paid enough where I'm not gonna say no to the fight. It's nothing like local league fights, which you have to do, and you have to earn your way up to the bigger leagues. But once I got there, I was hoping that I'd get paid more, and then once I got that finish where I had 35-40 million views over a bunch of different platforms, with Sports Center showing the Bellator cage and all these good things, I was hoping I'd get a contract and get paid for for all of that. It didn't happen, but I'm happy with the improvement that we got as far as what I'm getting for this fight. So yeah, we'll go from there. I got to perform this one. I think it's a good fight against a really tough opponent that had a really big win his last fight. And we fought and won the same night. So I think the stars aligned to make this one happen, and I think we can put on a really good show on this one.
Absolutely, and I'm glad to hear that Bellator is giving you a little bit more of what you're worth, and I hope you get to that next step. Who is our special guest right here?
I got 2. I got Gunner here, and then I got Phoebe here. So both these guys hanging out with me right now while I do
absolutely. This. Getting all the cuddles, absolutely, as they should. And like you said, Manny Miro fought on the same night as you. You told me when we spoke, kind of in the midst of the COVID pandemic, that you wanted Manny Miro. Here we are, 5-6 months later, you're fighting Manny Miro. Was that something that they brought to you, or did they say, who do you want? And you said this name?
They didn't ask me who I wanted, but I did say that this fight made sense. It's not like I've never met the guy. I just think 2 guys that fought the same night, same weight class, both won. He was on the main card that fight, and that was a big part of it. I don't know if I'll get a shot on the main card. Right now, I think I'm on the prelims, but I've only seen 3 fights posted on the main card right now. So maybe they're trying to figure out who to put on the main card aside from that. They've got the viral video to hype me up. They got you got him with a big win in a video in Bellator with his hand up, some good highlights. So they can make it happen. As of right now, it's not happening. But yeah, I asked for this fight, so I GD better show up and better get that win, because I'm not one to ask for fights or call people out. But I just thought it made perfect sense for both of us to further our careers. My goal is to do exactly what he's looking to do, and that's to make more of a name off of the other person. So that's what we're gonna go up and do.
Absolutely, and last time you had fought was in I believe Bridgeport, Connecticut. Is that right?
Mohegan Sun. It's somewhere in Connecticut.
Was it Mohegan Sun? Okay.
Yeah, Mohegan Sun.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was. I was there live, but I can't remember if it was Bridgeport or Mohegan when there was that Bellator card. But anyways, there was a ton of fans. You, like you said, you had this amazing fight, this amazing finish. You subbed him at the very end of the second round. Like you said, you were all over ESPN, all this stuff. And here you are going to fight in the bubble, in the sphere, and with no fans. Now, I'm sure that's not something that you're worried about or even focused on, but tell me, it's got to be weird, because I know that you're someone that the fans love, and they love seeing you, and they're loud when you're out there, and so it's got to be feel a little weird that you're going to be out there without any fans.
Yeah, it's it's very weird. I honestly have not tried to think too much about it, and when I fight, I think I kind of can put that stuff on the back burner pretty well. But I like hearing the crowd when I'm walking out to the cage. That that energy's nice. But it is what it is. I show up and I perform at practice every single day. And I think I'm 10 times the person I am when I practice than I am when I show up game day. So maybe some of that will translate. I think anybody that trains with me will attest to that. I think that people still haven't seen a lot of the things I'm capable of. And I'm only 32. This is my 15th pro fight, about 20th total fight between amateur MMA and my short-lived boxing amateur career. So yeah, I'm still so young, but I've been doing some really cool stuff with my life and with my gym and stuff. So it's really like, this is make or break. I've been doing some stuff, as silly as it sounds, but like some stunt work in movies, and it pays better than fighting. So I think unless I get a good contract, I gotta really put some stuff into consideration. So I really hope that they take care of me after this one, and I can keep doing this for a while, because I think that I've had a lot of injuries, but thankfully my brain is still as healthy as can be, and I don't spar hard unless I'm getting ready for a fight, and I try to take care of myself in that realm. But every fight I end up in the hospital with fractures in my feet, or torn knee, broken nose, broken eye socket, hyphema in my eye where I'm blind in the eye. So it's a rough sport. So just want to get compensated.
Absolutely. And I think that speaks to how much you love the sport, that you're making more money doing stunt double and movie stuff, little side movie stuff, which is awesome. But I agree, I want to keep seeing you in the cage, so I hope Bellator takes very much care of you. But is there added pressure in this fight, that if you don't have a big statement win, that maybe they don't hand you this contract? Is that something that's going through your head before this fight?
Yeah, it is. There's been so much stress with this fight. We haven't talked about it at all, but I mean, I guess I can kind of break it here. So my corner, Joe Lozon, isn't going to be able to come to this fight, because the way it worked is we need to do this quarantine where we show up Saturday for the Thursday fight. We have to quarantine 2 days, and then the quarantine changes slightly. We weigh in Wednesday night, whatever. But because of the times that my corners could get there, nobody could get there Saturday with me, which means I wouldn't be able to see anyone until the day before weigh-ins. And they won't allow my wife to go to the hotel with me to help me cut weight. So now she has to take Joe's spot so that I can have somebody helping me cut weight, so it can be safe. Because I can't be alone for all of those days, cutting weight, training by myself.
Absolutely.
So basically she has to take his spot so that the weight cut can go smoothly. So I don't get to have Joe there with me, which really sucks, because first of all, he's a good friend of mine. He's always been a good mentor, being another gym owner who's done it for a long time. And he's just such a good coach. But also just the fact that he's been in that cage and the UFC cage and all the local cage titans, all this stuff so many times. So it really stinks that they wouldn't allow my wife to come in and be in the quarantine and just have her test with me or whatever. She's already exposed to me every single day. So, if she's got anything, I have the same thing. So yeah, that was definitely, that was rough. But yeah, we'll deal with it and get through it. But the the pressure is there, you know, because they told us when we asked, like, hey, give us a contract. We think we earned it, and they said that when things got going again because of COVID, that we were definitely on the list for it, and we weren't given that contract after this fight. They said go out and perform, and then there's a good chance. So now again, we have to go out and prove our worth, which I thought we did, but not quite yet. So got to go and be better than ever.
And absolutely. And so on fight night, will it just be your wife in your corner?
No, so I have my black belt jiu-jitsu coach, Jay Mansfield. He'll be there. And then Jake Manini will be there, who I've wanted to work with Jake for a long time because he was always working with guys for the last couple of years at Joe Lozon's gym. It's tough to fit in time when I'm going there to do grappling Mondays, or when I'm in camps, I'd try and go do some sparring on Saturdays, and he'd have guys already there working, and we'd always try and work. But he'd just be booked up because he's a very good coach. Because of COVID, I couldn't go to Joe's gym because the way that they have all their training groups set up, it's just really difficult for everyone. Every gym owner has these weird rules that they have to follow. But private training is something that opened up for me with Jake. So I've been going to Hard Knocks every single week for a handful of months now, which has been incredible. And he's the same guy that works with like Mike Rodriguez and Calvin Cater and Rob Font. And then obviously all of the phenomenal Muay Thai fighters that he has at the gym he trains at, Hard Knocks Muay Thai. And he was also a fighter, which is a great comfort too. I haven't had a set striking coach in a long time, so it's definitely feels good to have that.
Absolutely. And, I can't talk to Devin Powell and not talk about your gym. Last time we had spoken, you had talked about kind of the hardships of going through COVID, not only as a fighter, but as someone who owns their own gym, as a business owner, as a gym owner. How has that been going now that things have kind of reopened to an extent? And how's your gym going? How's it going, and how's it feel to have people back in there, even with restrictions?
It's been amazing. It's been so good having everyone back. The big problem is honestly the fact that there's so many Karens, as people call them, men and women that have no good things going on for themselves, and they want to try and complain or whatever. And we do everything based off of the amateur and professional athletics guidelines that we have through the state of New Hampshire to follow the rules and everything. But people still want to peek their heads in and try and complain, even though we're doing everything the way we're supposed to. And because of that, we get these emails. Really, it's nothing too set in stone or whatever. They haven't said anything else, but just telling us that there have been complaints and all this stuff. So it's tough running the business, trying to do everything that we're told to do, thinking we're doing it right, and then people complaining just to try and kind of screw with everything that we've been working so hard to keep going on the the right path to keep the gym open. There's so many gyms that have closed for good now. I just saw another one yesterday, and this is after gyms have kind of finally been allowed to open back up. And things are getting worse in some places. So it's scary. It's awful that we closed down for so long and we lost half our students, but now we're back to where we were. It was a lot of work to get back, and we changed our entire schedule. Every single day is different now. We have a new check-in system to keep the numbers at the amount that we need for COVID, and it's crazy. I feel for those other coaches out there, especially if they're a little bit newer than us. We haven't been around forever, but we're coming up in May. Will be our 7th year, I think. So, and it's been a battle just to get as far as we are. And before COVID hit, we were at the best we'd ever been, and then we lost half our students, and now we're kind of coming back and trying to deal with everything as it comes. But just hope we don't get shut down again, man. It's awful. there's people's health that, that's
Absolutely.
the biggest thing, but it's also everybody else's mental health and our well-being. It's so important that we can stay open.
Absolutely, 100%. And I hope that things get better for the gym, for everything, with COVID, obviously. So I see the Top Game shirt. I had my debut episode, which I actually hope that you will be on one day, as I speak to coaches and managers from around the sport and everything, and talk to them on their prospects, everything like that. It's called Coach's Corner. I had Tyson Chartier as my first guest, and there's the Top Game management shirt. So I mean, just end us off here with just speak on Tyson. I mean, he has such great clients. He has such great relationships with his clients, and just it seems that he does everything right.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with Tyson is he does as much or as little as he needs with each fighter. There's some guys, like the reason he interacts so much with Rob and Calvin, you see those guys all together a lot, is he's actually a coach to them. He studies all the tape. He's there on their practices, so it's way more than just management with those guys. For us, it's really like he does all the negotiation. He does everything that we need, and then the second we have questions about anything, he's immediately on the line with whatever league, whether it's a small league or a big league. He's willing to come out to practices and stuff if that's the kind of thing that you want. But a lot of guys have their staple coaches and all this stuff, and they have a formula that's always worked, and he doesn't try to interject himself whenever there's an equation that's kind of like it's all set up, it's perfect. No need to kind of crack that code because it's already nice, tight knit group or whatever. So yeah, he does everything that he needs to make sure the fighters are in the absolute best position to win their fights. He checks in on them, make sure their weight's good, he fights for them because we put a lot on the line to get paid, as honestly as little as almost every single one of us get paid. You got guys like, I fought and I got paid $4,000 for my last fight. I got paid 2 and 2. And I was out for a full year because I had knee surgery and then COVID hit. So guys like me that end up with those kind of situations, if you don't own your own gym and you're not doing these things like doing stunts in movies or whatever, like you're screwed. What do? You go pick up a job at Walmart, or like doing landscaping, or getting on top of a roof. But how many other professional athletes do that? It's only MMA fighters, really. So he fights that hard fight to try and get everybody as much as they possibly can. It's an uphill battle, but I think we got to keep doing this, especially me being a coach as well, and not knowing how many more fights I have left. I want to be vocal about this stuff because I want the guys that I want to see fight around the world get taken care of. I don't want to see those guys in the position I've been, being out back in Argentina, bawling my eyes out because I got paid only half the money that I was hoping to make, and then I had to pay to get 3 flights that were $1,500 each, and then you pay your management because they deserve it. Coaches get paid money. You pay $1,000 for the fight week to get your food made for you, and then you come home and you got that was another one where I had like 10 years or like a full year off in between fights because of all this crap going on. You got like $8,000 in the bank from that, and it all goes really quick. It's crazy, but it is what it is. And I think
absolutely,
we just got to keep trying to get it better for those that are gonna be the future of the sport.
Absolutely. And Devin, that is all I have for you, man. At Bellator 252, I hope to see a big statement win, because there is no one on this planet that deserves that multi-fight contract and that money more than you, sir. And so I cannot wait to see it. And I thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. We appreciate the platform to do this stuff. We need it big time. So thank you.